Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today I am going to let Kerplunk pick my August TBR. If you're new to my channel, I have a TBR game. I'll link the playlist up above. And essentially I play the game Kerplunk and it picks my TBR for me. There are prompts, there are all those things. If you watch my playlist, if you watch the very first one, it has all of the rules of the game. This month is definitely going to run a little bit differently though, because we have the amazing Readathon, right? And the way that I am going to be playing the amazing Readathon is every time we get a new prompt, I am going to be changing teams, and I'm going to use a spinner wheel and I'm going to pick teams. So I don't really have a way to, you know, pick my books as far as like, you know, the right colors and things like that. I know the prompts, but I don't know what colors I'm going to be reading for. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be picking a pile of possibilities. Then when I pick the books in my vlogs based on the prompts, I'm going to start by picking from my pile of possibilities, and then if one doesn't fit, then I'll move on to the vast amount of other books that I have on my TBR. We are taking the month off of Boozy Book Club, so we will not have a group book for that. We actually haven't finished the July one, so July is kind of going to be July and August. So we're actually, as you're watching this, hopefully we'll be doing sprints sometime this week. Because of the way that I'm doing this, I'm not doing a punishment roll for July. I also will not do a punishment roll next time because, again, this is a pile of possibilities. Amazing Readathon kind of dictates what I'm doing this month. But we are still going to roll a dice just for fun, just to see how many sticks we're going to pull. So here we go. This is a D12 dice. Normally I would be rolling a D12 dice, and if I have a punishment we would also be doing a 6-sided dice. It's a thing. Okay, well we have an 8. You're not going to be able to see that because it's not going to focus, but it is an 8. So with that said, let's go find our books. Alright, just a little recap. If we pull a green stick, we're going to pick a green card. That means that the book has to be set in the past. If we pull an orangish red stick, we'll pull an orange card, and that has to be set in the present. If we pull a yellow stick, it'll be a yellow card that is set in the future. If any of the marbles fall, we pull a black card. That will add an extra challenge to which book we have to pull, or maybe we'll be pulling another stick. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you never know. So here we go. All right, and we have a book in the present. All right, we have a Friends to Lovers romance. For Friends to Lovers romance set in the present, I'm going to be reading Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. Bethany just read this recently and absolutely loved it, was raving about it on the Chapter 3 podcast that we did last month, and so I'm very excited about it. This is also a pretty purple-ish book, so that also is great bonus points for that if I can work it in somehow. And this is an older romance, like older people's. I think the woman is in her 40s, the man is actually in his 50s, and they meet online, like an online either a Discord or some sort of like gaming group, and then they end up meeting in person, and it's a like grumpy sunshine romance. The cover is so cute. I have very high hopes for this book because I have heard such good things about it from a couple of different people. All right, let's pull our second prompt. Being as well-rounded as possible is probably going to be to my advantage, so we're going to be picking all of the different ones. All right, we have a small book. For reasons, this is very important. Obviously it's a readathon, but there's also something pretty important as well. For a small book set in the past, I am stretching this a little, not in the small book, but in the past, and that's going to be Rolling in the Deep by Mira Grant. This is the prequel to Into the Drowning Deep, which I read earlier this year and really loved, and this is like the original story. So while Into the Drowning Deep is kind of a team following another team that is trying to find these killer mermaids, Rolling in the Deep is like the original team. So in the premise of the book, it's in the past. That's what we're going with. This is a very short book. It will be instrumental at some point in the readathon. All right, moving on to our third prompt. Let's just go with yellow. Okay. All right, we have a highest rated on Goodreads. For the highest rated on Goodreads set in the future, I'm going to be reading Always Human Volume 2. I absolutely loved Volume 1. I think it is such a cute sci-fi slice of life graphic novel. And obviously graphic novels are going to be very helpful with the Amazing Readathon, so I figured this would be a good one to put on here. It actually comes out on July 25th, so like tomorrow as you're seeing this, if I can get my crap together. And it's a really, really powerful story of like accepting yourself. You are able to put like body modifications on, and it's basically like just like apps that you're allowed to put on, like, and then you can like change your hair color or change the way you look, and then this one girl doesn't do that, and so there's this like really interesting like just commentary on loving yourself and accepting yourself, and it's really cute, and it's hella gay, so I'm here for that. All right, let's move to our fourth prompt. Ooh, this one's loose. Hooray. An orange. A romance. For a romance set in the present, I'm going to be reading Wretched by Emily McIntyre. This is the third book in the Never After series, I believe is what this calls. It's a bunch of standalones, but this is the book that we are reading for Mine and Rise Book Club. My top 2 tiers of patrons are joining together with Rise Patreon, and we are doing a group challenge with the A to Z challenge, and so we're also going to be buddy reading some books, and so this is what we're reading for W for July and August, and I wasn't able to finish it in July, so we're going to move it to August. It also has a pretty green and or purple cover. I think it's green because it's more green at the bottom, so we might get some bonus points for that if I end up on the green team. But this is a Wizard of Oz inspired romance that's like mafia. The family's drug empire. I don't know how we're gonna connect that to Wizard of Oz, but here we are. All right, pick number 5. The green. Ooh, we have a sequel. For a sequel set in the past, this one is, like, I have so many that I could do, but I currently have Children of the Fallen Gods. This is the second book in the War of Lost Hearts. Daughter of No Worlds was the first book in this. I love this book and I gave it 5 stars last month, so I'm very excited to continue on with the series. It is just like really chunky and I don't know that I will actually get it finished in time. Like, you know, because Amazing Readathon, we're dropping props every few days. This is a little bit chunky. But you know, you never know. I did read Daughter of No Worlds very quickly, so we'll see. All right, let's try to pick another one. We're going to go with, try to get a yellow. That way we at least have 2 of everything. All right, here we go. We've got a book by a BIPOC author. This is actually fantastic because we get bonus points for BIPOC authors for the Amazing Readathon. For the book by a BIPOC author, I'm going to be reading The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport. This is a book that's on my Our Fantasy TBR. This is a book that's been on so many different TBRs and I haven't gotten to it, but I really, really want to. And I feel like a readathon is kind of a good idea to, especially if I do it at the beginning. This could be a really easy way for me to like really knock it out because I'm gonna have a lot of momentum at the beginning of a readathon. So this could potentially happen. This is a fantasy science fiction blend, like a genre blend. It's part of a duology. It's action-packed. A black woman must survive deadly trials in a racist and misogynistic society to become an elite warrior. I've heard such good things about this book, and I need to, you know, I need to read it. Also, Annie Davenport is going to be at a Polycon, so it's a book that I want to read before April. We're gonna add it to this month's TBR, or pile of possibilities rather. Prompt number 7. Now I think we're just gonna pick whatever we can. There is a fantasy book that I'm really, really wanting to read next month, so I think we might try to pick another green one and see if we can get it to work. A retelling. This is important. For a retelling, I'm going to be reading Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. I am kind of putting my eggs all in one basket here because this is a very, very blue cover. So like hopefully at some point I get on the blue team and I can read this book and get those bonus points. But this is a retelling of The Goose Girl. I am not familiar with this original work, but here we are and this is what I'm going to read and I have high hopes for it. This is also one of Margaret's favorite books, so I'll be getting bonus GRC or bonus currency for this if I read it, so this is definitely going to be high up on that pile of possibilities. All right, let's pick our last prompt. All right, we got an orange. We got a Patreon pick. For the Patreon picks set in the present, I decided to take 4 contemporary romance arcs that I'm very excited about and let them decide which one of the 4 I'm going to read. It hasn't been up very long, but like overwhelmingly, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake is the like winner, like the runaway winner. I also had a couple other options on there, but Iris Kelly is like clearly running away with it right now. I don't even think anybody else has the ability to win. So Iris Kelly Doesn't Date will likely be the option for this. Again, another blue book, so we're getting our bonus points there if I end up on the blue team. All right, the last thing that I need to do is to pick a book from the Water Bowl. Now, this is the Water Bowl for my top tier patrons. They get to put a book or multiple books into the Water Bowl, and I will pick one out, and then I will read it in the next 2 months. So August or September is when I will read this. So if you would like to be a top tier patron, no pressure, obviously, but this is a fun added perk that they get. And then also, if you are a top tier patron and you have not put any books into this Water Bowl yet, let me know in the Discord and the Best Buds chat, and we'll add this to it for next time. Okay, here we go. I am a little bit nervous. There are a few on here that I'm like actually really excited about, but then there are also some that I am less than excited about. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I actually really want to read this. Okay, hold on. This is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. This is a sapphic epic high fantasy, and it's like, it's been on the radar. It was kind of like in that trilogy of, not trilogy, but like the 3 big books of the sapphic fantasy books. It was She Who Became the Sun, it was Priory of the Orange Tree, and it was The Jasmine Throne. And I know that this has been pretty popular and a lot of people have really liked it. So this was recommended by Jennifer, and I think actually like multiple people had this one in there, so there was a good chance that we were going to get this. But this says, trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, Princess Malini dreams of vengeance. Forced to disavow her birthright and her power because of her past, maidservant Priya dreams of freedom. In a world beset by wild magic and turbulent uprising, their destinies will become irrevocably tangled, and together they will set an empire ablaze. This sounds really good. I am very excited to read this. If I don't get to it in August, then I will definitely be reading it in September. So weirdly enough, half of the books that I picked do not, I don't have physical copies of. So we have these books plus a few more. And obviously, like I said, these are piles of possibilities. Other than this one is definitely getting read, and I guess technically this one is also getting read because it is the Kerplunk card just fell out of it. But this will be read because we're going to do a live show on it. But other than that, we have piles of possibilities, and we'll just see what happens. Let me know down in the comments below if you are participating in the amazing readathon and a book that you are really hoping to get onto your TBR for August. I know we don't actually have our TBR set, but what is a book that you're really excited to get to? That is all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.